And greetings and welcome to the QCast. This is season 5, episode 61, and all-time episode number 201. Thanks to Mike Rainiak, our friend, for being the guest for show 200. That was fun. And, I'll tell you what, I thought, do I go back to the well today with Coach Reg? And then I saw that he tweeted to some huge big time podcaster media people like, hey, I'm available if you want to come on a podcast. And I'm like, who's been there for you, Reg? So you know what we did is we decided to go a little where the people wanted, which is to Dimitrius Underwood, Sam Peak, and assistant coach Jason Harris. Jason, let me just first ask you: do you agree that Reg kind of now is a little bit big time with the 4 wins and everything? He's looking to kind of get on the big time media scene. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I asked him a question this morning, and he had security intervene, and he wasn't answering questions from me. So, it's the new Reg that we got to deal with, but we're all happy with the situation we're in.
I also had to protect him from himself because every time he comes on this show now, he's got the receipts from the people that didn't shake his hand, from the things people said to him. I just figured now that we're in the final four, we need to kind of help Reg and keep him away from himself a little bit. Sam Peak, great to have you on here. I just got to ask you, Sam. I mean, we'll get into this, but were you as nervous as I was during the Elam ending in the final minutes or so? Like, because I was terrified, Sam. Can you walk me through how you were feeling?
I wish I was lying, but yeah, I was nervous. Um, I mean, we had a crazy lead on them, and for whatever reason, they went on some crazy run. But I mean, I know we stuck it together. I mean, we had literally, it was like timeout. We had to get a stop. Replay had to get a stop. It was like 4 or 5 times in a row. So I knew we were going to get a shot at it, but I just hope they didn't get the shot first. But we handled it.
We'll get into a little more. And by the way, shout out to Retro. We are D3. So now that we're big time, now that we're a Final Four team, people are clamoring for the old stuff, the old days, and I've got a lot of it. So I'm proud to wear that. Demetrius, it's great to have you on here. I'm recording this. I live in Dallas, so Dallas city limits. I live about 12 minutes from UT Dallas. Saw you play a lot of games. And I just got to ask you, Demetrius, that final play, you going to the basket, it seemed to me like you had made a little bit of a decision somewhere near half court that, hey, I'm going to the hoop. I'm going to make something happen. Like talk a little bit about that final play, if you would.
Yeah, I feel like during the Elam, it gets a little frantic, like, especially when you need one bucket, you're just trying to put the ball in the basket. We probably had, I think we had like open shots, open jump shots, but you don't really want to settle. So in my mind, I'm just like, let me just try to force something to the rim. It might go in. We'll have a chance to rebound it. In that situation, you're just like kind of just praying at that point, I'll be honest.
And Christian Parker was there, right? Like the shot you took was a good one, and I thought it was in. But boy, I mean, Christian Parker gets that thing, and uh, I don't know, Jason. I got to ask you about the whistles in the Elam ending because it seems like, and I get it, it seems like they're not wanting to end the game on a foul or a free throw, but I'm watching both sides, and I'm like, holy crap, there's a lot of foul. Like Christian Parker got mugged on that putback that went in. I think Sam, there was a play in the Elam. I feel like you got mugged. Like Jay, when you're on the sidelines looking at how they're calling this thing, does that impact like how your strategy is in trying to score these baskets in the Elam?
Certainly. I mean, I kept saying to the officials, I might have made the stat up, but it was like 14 straight free throws for the other team. But it's at the end of the day, there's $1 million on the line, and you just got to lower your shoulder and you got to do what Demetrius did. You got to get to the
Yeah.
paint, get it off the front of the rim, and hope your bigs flood and crash that front of the rim for a putback. And Christian missed the putback probably 2 or 3 possessions before
Yeah.
that went in and out. I mean,
Yeah.
credit to these guys. And I gotta hop in real quick here. Demetrius Underwood has been the ultimate professional for us. Nobody knows this, but in the UConn game, when we played Hank and we played Tom Corey, all those extended minutes, Demetrius Underwood was the one that said, hey, keep those young guys in. They are hot. They are playing well. And that was like one of the most mature things I've ever seen in my 22 years of coaching. I mean, just hats off. That's a complete professional right there with zero ego. So I gotta tip my cap to him, and I gotta tip my cap to Sam Peak for stepping up and playing great. And it's a tough thing. It's a tough thing. I'm rambling. I'm used to being the head coach. I'm used to having the floor, but it's a tough thing, Bob, to play 20 minutes one game and then not play at all. So our
Sure.
guys, we're just so proud of this national team, this dream team. There's no ego on this team at all.
Yeah, and Reg mentioned that about Demetrius on the last QCast, the one before this game, and I thought that I thought it was cool, and I know that people that watched it did. Demetrius, that he said, you had this nucleus out there that was doing great things, and you said, hey, leave them in. Demetrius, would you agree? Like the unselfishness of this team is really, in my opinion, one of the most important things. You can't put an all-star team together and then have everyone trying to kind of get their own. Talk about how everyone seems to be playing for the greater good here, Demetrius.
Yeah, it's like Coach said, it's huge. And I'll say we definitely have egos. It's
Sure.
there. We're fighting human nature on the bench. We want to be in. We're all Americans where we come from. But, when you're playing with 10, 11 other pros who are high level guys, it can be anybody's night on any given night. So you kind of just gotta yield to the rhythm of the game and just feel how it's flowing, like if Peak's on fire, I gotta let him rock. I can't try to be the guy every night because that's just not how the game works.
Yeah, it was just a really cool story to hear that, because what Red said is like that never happens in professional basketball. Someone saying leave them in, they're doing great. I should mention, Demetrius played at UT Dallas and then a year at College of Charleston D1. Sam, of course, played at Wesleyan and then was at Stetson, correct? And then G League with the Motor City Cruise. Jason, by the way, having to be the assistant to this Mike Rainiac guy, he's actually the head coach at UMass Boston. I think you're 9 full years in, Jason. Is that right? 9 years in at UMass Boston?
Yeah. Yep. Entering year 10 right now.
Yeah. So, I mean, he does have a gig where he's the guy, by the way. So kudos to him. Everyone's playing their role on this team. Sam, I wanted to ask you a little bit about the decision to join this team. You've been playing for the Motor City Cruise in the G League. I came to watch you and Ryan Terrell play a game. I think Buddy Boeheim was in that game. So I have an appreciation for how talented the G League is. What was your decision, Sam, this year in deciding to join the team?
Yeah, so I mean, the past 3 years, I vividly remember like tuning in to watch the D3 games, all in on them, parents, family coming to watch the games. And yesterday, or not yesterday, last year, Coach Reg asked me to play, and I was all in, and Summer League conflicted with it. And obviously, it was, Summer League was a crazy opportunity, so I had to take it. But I knew if he asked me again, I was going to be locked in with the guys. I mean, I just thought it was cool, all the Division 3 guys like coming together and just like beating odds, you know what I mean? Like we've been doing.
And would you agree, Sam, like your time in the G League has helped prep you for this? How would you compare, that caliber that you're used to going up against in the G League to now what you're facing in this tournament? I'm just curious how those two things are the same or different.
It's honestly very similar. I mean, I'm just picturing the G League just super physical, big guys. I mean, the adjustment from Wesley to Stetson was huge for
Yeah.
me athletically, and then Stetson to the G League was like a bigger jump. So yeah, I feel a lot more comfortable playing in these kind of tournaments with these kind of competitors for sure.
And Demetrius, on your side, obviously you've been on the team before. Talk to us a little bit. Where have you been playing overseas? And let's kind of talk about that first. Like, where's been your professional home?
Yeah, so I've been bouncing around. First year was in Serbia and then Romania after that. And then this last year I went to Bosnia. So I've been doing a lot in Eastern Europe, and then I'm still working on my next contract, so might try to move a little west this year. So still stay tuned for that, I guess.
And last year in that the win, would the first ever win for the program, Demetrius, you were a monster in that game. Was it a tough decision? And then by the way, the next game, which we just about had won, almost won two last year, was it a tough decision, Demetrius, coming back this year, or was that a no-brainer for you? Talk us through the decision to come back.
It's a no-brainer in terms of the team, the unit, like the energy and the atmosphere. But most of these, I think other TBT guys are getting paid to play. They're not having to pay for nothing. So it's a little tricky because
Sure.
you're kind of betting on yourself. You got to buy your flight. You got to like put up the money and say, hey, I think we can do something this year. So that's kind of what it's been these past few years. And, 2 years in, it's paying off.
It sure is. Jason, I wanted to ask you from a guy that's been around Division 3 a long time and has appreciation, just like these guys do. I mean, I'm following Twitter all day long right now, and just this, I can't think of an event that has done more for our division than what's happening. These 4 wins and all the attention on like, hey, these guys can play. There's a bunch of us on Twitter trying to say that all the time. Is like, look, these guys are actually good. This is not intramural basketball. But I mean, to see it now against teams like this, against the UConn team, the Syracuse team, all these teams. I mean, Jason, what's it like for you being part of this and watching what's playing out nationally for just like the Division 3 brand?
Well, I truly feel like we've built this thing like the dream team, like the national team. And so we are deeper than everybody else in this tournament. We may not have been as heralded as everybody else in this tournament, but 1 through 13, we're in our primes. They're in their primes. I'm well past my prime. But Sam Peak's like entering his prime. Dimitrius is in his prime. A lot of these guys we're playing were in their primes 5, 6, 7 years ago. And now they're free this weekend, and so they're playing. We approach this tournament completely different. This is a program, and we have all Americans that haven't even played really,
Right.
and they're ready to hop right in, and so we're embracing the opportunity. And with the portal and the way that the Division 1 game has kind of changed, you're getting more opportunities for D3 studs to kind of show themselves at the higher level. But this is really cool to be a part of. It's just really cool to witness it and to see the unselfishness of everybody involved and the total buy-in. And even if guys didn't play, and when that final shot goes in, you'll see the celebrations, you see the smiles.
Yep.
That's real. That's genuine. These guys really, really care about each other. And then afterwards, you hear the trash talking about conferences and what I did to your team and your game, and that's where it gets back to like the inner D3 rivalry. But when it's us versus everybody else, oh, we'll circle these wagons like the Buffalo Bills, Bob.
It's obvious watching you guys play that is the case. And Sam, from your standpoint, talking about the depth, you're a wing player, 6'7" wing, and you have a lot of wings on this team that the coaching staff can put in there. I think about like Hank Morgan knocking down that big three from the corner in the other game 2 games ago, and Tom Corey made a shot yesterday and has come in and played good minutes. There's other guys. What's it like, Sam, to have so much depth on the team, especially in that wing area, kind of big guys who can shoot it and do a little bit of everything?
I mean, I think that just goes back to the unselfishness. Like, we haven't had anybody complaining about minutes. I mean, Tom could go play 30 minutes, Hank could go play 30 minutes, produce, defend. These guys are dogs, just like everybody on the court. So it's again, it's fun to play with. It's fun to just be around these guys. And again, it's just like, just brings everybody even closer. And it's just more about winning it and putting D3 on the map more than anything. And everybody's, all in. So
Sure.
it's cool.
And Demetrius, from your standpoint, kind of going back to what I asked Jason, like what this is doing for Division 3. You played Division 3, and you're aware that there's a lot of people that don't know what Division 3 is, especially Texas. Some people do, some people don't. I'm used to D3 in the Midwest following the CCIW, and generally up there D3 has a pretty strong brand, but not everywhere. There's a lot of parts of the country that people are like, why'd you go D3? What's it been like, Demetrius, for that side of your story here, and what you guys have done to promote the brand like you have here in the last 2 weeks?
Yeah, I feel like that's honestly the best part. And I've been thinking about that more. Um, because like I think mentally when you're playing D3, you ask yourself, do you belong at a higher level, or do you have what it takes to compete at a higher level? And so being able to like show that, hey, this isn't a fluke. We got 4 real wins in the TBT against the best teams in the tournament. It's just like a testament to just staying faithful where we're at. Like we're D3, but we show up every day. There's not like a huge crowd following us. We don't sell out gyms, but it's like we show up every day. We do the work. Nobody's clapping for us. We're paying for school. but it's like your time's gonna come. You just stay down. And I talk about how for my own journey, like God sees your work, God sees the work that you're putting in. So it's like not trying to like rush through it, just embracing where you're at. You know, it matters, even if it seems small in the moment.
Yeah, and I'm fortunate here to be able to go watch UT Dallas, or at least, they've moved on to D2, but going to games to watch you play and seeing like Josiah Johnson come in there from Mary Hardin Baylor, and just all the great players that are down here in Texas. So like, I mean, I've always had an appreciation, but I think the casual fan, a lot of them don't, and this has been such a huge thing. Jason, before we leave it, I just got to talk a little more about this Elam Ending thing last night. So you go into the Elam Ending up 86-66, and that lead was down from being up 29. So we go in up 20. It's a first of 74 basketball game at that point. Is from a coaching standpoint, Jason, the Elam Ending is way different than if you have 4 minutes left and you're just trying to run out the clock versus like we got to score 8 points. I think those things are kind of dramatically different. Am I overcomplicating it, or is it different?
Oh no, it's completely unique. I mean, it is because, like you said, if you're up 20 with 4 minutes to go, even if you choke the game away, you win by 9,
Yeah, it's
right?
over.
Because you hold the ball, you get a couple stops, you make some free throws, you get fouled.
Yeah.
You can't lose that game. But in the Elam, the game doesn't end until you go score 8 points. So it's definitely unique, and we're still trying to figure it out here on our fourth time through it. It's something that's going to be different every time we go through it. But Dimitrius had a great point when we were in Syracuse. He says we have 4 wins already, but we actually have 6 because we handled 2 teams in scrimmages as well. So I mean,
Sure.
we beat everybody in Syracuse but Vermont. We literally every team in the region
Wow.
we beat them. Nobody. It should be our region next year, Bob. It should be our region. I
Yeah,
want you to get on that, Bob. Where are we hosting next year?
wouldn't that be cool, guys? Is like if we're the 1 seed, what would our home gym be? What would we pick as the gym? That would be interesting, wouldn't it?
My gut says either Mohegan Sun or Springfield College, the home of the Hall of Fame.
Springfield College would be a pretty great pick. I mean, how could anyone have a complaint with that? How
And
could
lastly, Bob, I'll say we're D3 guys. We're used to playing in winter break in front of 38 people.
That's
So
correct.
it means nothing to go into a gym and have 12 people cheering for us. It means nothing. So we
Absolutely.
embraced the challenge on Thursday night to go play in front of 8,000 fans. We've been there before. Demetrius has been there before. I mean, we're ready. We're ready.
And we'll get to that game because that's gonna be a great game. Sam, with the Elam Ending, I think both of you guys, you and Demetrius, are two of the guys, two of a few that look really comfortable trying to get your shots. And I'm just curious, when that Elam Ending went south, and all of a sudden, I mean, those dudes had multiple possessions where if they make a jump shot, they win this thing. I mean, we defended. That's the thing that gets lost in this. We had to defend so many possessions where if it's they score, the dream has died and we have lost this 29-point lead. What was it like on the defensive end, Sam, as this thing got really dicey?
I mean, it was really the do or die, you know? And it was also scary because you didn't want to foul because you could end in
Right.
free throws, right? And we knew the refs were kind of calling it weird. So, I mean, you just had to play straight up and crash the boards as hard as you could. That's really what I was focusing on. I was thinking about.
And Demetrius, on your end, on the defensive end, they had some guys that were scores, like really, really hard to defend. What was it like playing that end in an Elam Ending where there's not a clock, but it's just if they get to that 94, they win the game? What was that like on that end?
Yeah, it feels kind of impossible. It feels like the refs have most of the control, I'll be honest. I, I I'm sure you watched the game. I felt like once we got a big lead, they started calling some fouls that weren't being called. And then once Elam came, they stopped calling them.
For
So
sure. Yeah.
it makes it a little hard because it's like, okay, this is a foul, but now it's not because it's Elam time. They don't want to decide the game. So you're just looking for the consistency, but also like for us and Elam, I think we didn't really want to settle for jump shots. And so we passed up on some open, like I think Peak had a top of the key three. He looked at it. I think it was a good shot, but he drove it in just because we talked about wanting to be aggressive at the rim.
Right.
But I think we got to remember too that like the best shot is the best shot.
Yeah, there was the whistle is. I'm not saying it was an unfair, but it was so different from the majority of the
Yeah,
game
yeah.
to then the Elam ending. It was like two different games. And since Reg is here, he would probably talk about it. I don't want anyone to comment on this. This 7 foot kid that was throwing people around. I don't know what was with that guy. I mean, Sam, were you
I
the
don't
guy
know.
that got thrown like the rag doll? Was that you or was
Bob,
that someone else?
Bob, he scored 2 more points than me, and I'm in a boot. So
So,
he's doing a lot of talking. I'm not sure.
yeah, Sam, was that you? You got into it the second thing, but who got someone got like thrown? Who was that?
I think it was Sobel.
It was
Yeah.
Alex Sobel. Got just like, and Alex is not a small dude.
Yeah. And they replayed that because I watched the game back. They replayed that one play like 3 times. It looked worse every time.
And then you got into it with him like a minute later, where I don't know, there was some. So I just wanted to say, like, I didn't like what that guy was doing. I'll tell you that. Um, so guys, we're in the final four. That's all that matters. We're in the final four of TBT, and I mean, look, we've already beaten all these good teams. We might as well just win the thing. So we play the AfterShocks this Thursday. That's a Wichita State based crew. We play them, oh, by the way, in Wichita, and that's Thursday at 7 p.m. Central. So, Coach Harris, what do we know? I mean, we know these guys, right? What do we know about the AfterShocks? What's the scouting report? What's your take on what we need to do well to compete and win this game?
So initially, I'd say you got to survive the first tsunami because they come right out of the wave. They got 8,000 fans. That first three, they're shooting off fireworks and like confetti, and it's a completely different thing. So you got to survive and hang around, get to halftime, and then make your adjustments, and then put your best five back out there on the floor, and then go finish this thing because I got full faith in all these guys. They don't have 13 All-Americans. We do. They
Yeah,
don't have
you're
13 captains. We do.
and you know what? Sometimes I compare this to like an NCAA tournament game where sometimes it's harder to be the home team. Like you have the pressure on you, and you get a
Just
road
make it
team.
weird, Bob. You just make it weird. You
Yeah,
get to halftime and it gets weird.
you get a road team that comes out and makes a couple shots, and it's like, oh, and then kind of the pressure mounts. So there's a flip side to that, Sam. When you think of Aftershock, have you guys had a chance yet to watch film? Do you? I mean, you've seen them play, I assume, in person. Like, what are you looking at as you think of the matchup Thursday with that Wichita State based team?
Yeah, I mean, we watched a little bit of the game where they just won. I mean, honestly, like Coach Harris is saying, the matchups, I mean, we can really match up against anybody in this tournament. I just think it's going to be surviving that first wave, seriously. And I mean, I know we've been a resilient team all year, so I don't know. I'm just looking forward to it.
And Dimitrius, your Coach Reg, not afraid to make bold statements. He said before the tournament when he came on the QCast July 3rd, he said, we have the best guards in TBT. I'm sitting there at the time he makes the statement thinking, like, we've got every major program around that has teams in this thing. I'm thinking, is that a little bit hyperbolic? And then I'm thinking, now that I'm watching games, Demetrius, you and that crew, Marcus, Ty, Daquan. I mean, Demetrius, I think we do have the best guards in TBT. Are you willing to go out and say that Reg is right about that?
Shoot, I don't know if Reg believed it at the time when he said it, but I mean, you just can't buy the hype, Bob. It's not you like this. You're a D3 guy. The names don't matter. When we roll the ball out, we got to go at it, go at you. And the thing about us is we're hungry because what I'm saying, we're D3 guys. Like when we match up against Frank Mason and all these ex-NBA guys, it's like we want it bad. So it means more to us.
It has been amazing to watch our guards play. Obviously what Ty's done has been well documented. The silencer and all this stuff. He's been incredible. And then Marcus Azor is like one of the most underrated hoopers in America. I mean, he's unbelievable, and he picks his spot so well. And Demetrius, I think from your standpoint, you just kind of picked your moments those first few games, and then yesterday was kind of your game, right? You had 19 points, 10 rebounds, 4 assists, 3 steals. I mean, we don't come close to competing in that game without what you did in that game, Demetrius. But I would just say that I think Coach Reg was kind of being Coach Reg there when he made that statement, but he actually was right. I mean, I haven't seen a team with better guards. So
Yeah.
let's keep that rolling. Um, as we start to wind up here, guys, just want to ask you a little bit about just kind of the what you enjoyed about your time around Division 3, including this team, because that'll mean a lot to people. I mean, D3 folks will tune into this podcast. Maybe a random Wichita State fan might to see who the heck you guys are, but really D3 people are going to be watching this. Jason, I'll ask you first. Um, what do you enjoy most about NCAA Division 3 and your time, being part of it?
As a former Division 3 athlete, and I spent 9 years at Division 1. I love Division 3. Like, they have skin in the game. There's less entitlement. There's just a little bit more gratitude because they understand a lot of the assistant coaches have second jobs, sometimes third jobs. We're Division 3. We're piecing it together. Nobody believes in us but us. And just to be a part of this group is so special. And I love coaching these guys because they're all pros, and it helps me become a better head coach during the year. But these guys are just a special group, man. I don't want this thing to end. I mean, we have 13 captains who are just united and connected. We are literally D3's national team. I mean, these guys don't care about anything but winning. And so I know that's not really what you asked me, Bob. I just love Division 3 because of the purity of it. There's
And
no NIL really. There's no scholarships. This is just guys
yeah,
who love basketball.
not really. And I mean, I think the Brazel kid at Hampton Sydney gets free wings on Friday night or something. It seems like him and that Shane kid.
Two Rivers Trust at Marietta. There's a few NILs
That
that are rocking.
that's legit on NIL. That Two Rivers
Yeah.
thing, that is legit. But the thing Brazel and Shane have, that's just like you come in, you get chicken wings or something. I don't think it's totally legit, but I think it's called NIL. Sam, now you played in one of the power conferences. You're a NESCAC guy, Wesleyan. So you had a lot of attention on you and your teams when you were playing. What do you love the most, Sam, about Division 3 and kind of being part of it?
Yeah, I mean, coming from high school, I remember going on my first visit to Wesleyan and just being blown away by the talent and athleticism, and just the culture, like, and how competitive it was in the league, and just from team meals, and nothing was really mandatory, you know what I mean, other than
Sure.
the year, but just like the springs and the falls and the pickups and going to hang out after and just being around the campus and having that small school feel, but just still just like being super competitive, and everybody just loved hoops. um I mean, I love my time at Wesleyan. I wouldn't change it for anything. So
And it's amazing. I mean, what you've done going to Stetson and then the G League. I mean, you were prepared awfully well, right? You keep coming from Wesleyan and that caliber of league that you were in. Certainly, it was a jump for you to go to Stetson, and you had to adjust. But did you find that? I mean, based on the size of dudes and the caliber of dudes you were playing in the NESCAC, I mean, it wasn't as big of a jump as people probably think it was.
no, it definitely wasn't. And it also just goes back to your routine that I learned as a Division 3 basketball player, looking up to the seniors as a freshman, and having Coach Riley, who was great. Just going back to just the work shows eventually, and you stay in your lane, and you put your head down and you work, and things usually work out in your favor.
And Demetrius, from your standpoint, playing at UT Dallas, a lot of battles in the ASC, and that league is kind of splintered now with everything going on with conference realignment. But you played against some great players, a guard driven league is what I would say. The ASC has a lot of great guards that you were part of. What did you appreciate the most, Demetrius, about your time as a Division 3 student athlete?
Yeah, I think I kind of agree with what Jay said. I didn't realize it at the time until I went D1 and got in that space, but it's a pure form of basketball. When you start to get into money's on the table and guys want to go pro, and winning doesn't matter as much. It matters more that I shine because I need to get paid, right? At the D3 level, it's just purely love of the game, and you can feel that just in the practices, in the just through the entire program. So I would say that.
Well, I appreciate that. And just a few final thoughts on my end is was involved in just a kind of a message conversation online today about this team and what people love watching. It's how you guys play together because you're all professionals, you're all Americans, you're all studs. You could all be the best player on whatever team you want to be on. But what I would say is that the great thing is this all-star team is playing like a cohesive basketball team, kind of like a Division III team plays. And that's a huge compliment to all of you guys for kind of coming in and having egos, but kind of figuring out how to make those work on the floor together. That's been really cool. I would just say this to you guys in wrapping this up. I meant what I said earlier. I can't think of anything that's done more for the Division III brand than these 4 wins and the 2 that are coming. Because
Yeah.
I've been around this since I was a freshman at Illinois Wesleyan in 1989. That's a lot of years. I'm not even going to do the math, actually. That's a lot of years. I can't think of an event that has opened more eyes. And so kudos to all of you. It has been really like I was last night, except for last night for like 5 minutes. I couldn't tweet anything. I had to put the computer down and I'm just sitting here like, can we score a basket? Can we get a shot here? And except for those 5 minutes of my life, guys, like unbelievable. Um, so kudos to you. This has been awesome. The game, everyone, is Thursday against the AfterShocks. It's at 7 p.m. in Wichita. Coach Harris, since Coach Rainiak isn't here, I'm going to ask you to close us out.
Let me say one thing before
Please.
coach. You know, the other thing you said, we got 2 more wins. I think people still don't believe we're gonna get those 2 wins.
No,
I
they don't.
think people think that, D3 did their thing, good run, it's over with. Let me ask you, do people don't care unless we win this whole thing?
Well, here's what I'd say. I'd say that Division III nation, whatever happens at this point, is probably gravy. For the Division III folks are just so impressed by what's happened to this point and are just would love to see us cut down those nets and win this thing. Now, to your point, Demetrius, the average fan that doesn't know Division III probably views this as a underdog story if we go out and get beat Thursday. And hey, that was a cute little story, and now it's over. So yeah, I would say to your point, the same doubters and haters are probably going to doubt and hate unless we win those 2 games. You agree with that?
Absolutely.
Sam, you agree with that?
Yeah, that's why we got to get it done. We got
Yeah.
2 games to do it.
Yeah, probably, the rest of the folks will just say, hey, that they got lucky 4 times. And so yeah,
Six times, Bob. 6 times. Don't
6 times,
forget
including the
about
exhibitions or the scrimmages. Yeah, 6 times. Jason, close us out if you would. I always like to give guests that final thought, something I learned from my friend Dave McHugh of Hoopsville. Shout out to DMAC. Um, Jason, your final thoughts on this whole experience and what's coming up here Thursday and the rest of the journey, these final 2 games. What are your final thoughts, Jason?
I have complete and utter faith in these men that I'm tied to. These are all selfless, professional, humble, intelligent young men. And if we show up with substance on offense, sense of urgency on defense, right? And we just continue to do what we're doing selflessly, then we're going to move on to the next round. We can't talk about cutting down the nets. We can just talk about our next opponent, and it's the AfterShocks. There'll be 8,000 people there that are booing us on when it's 2-0, and we love it. We love it. We've been here when we got beat by 30. We've been here when we were nobody. So just full circle moment to be back here to cut down the nets, and that's what we expect to do. Ty and Marcus cost me a lot of money coaching in the Little East, so it's time that they earn me some.
Well, again, guys, good luck to you. Congratulations for what you've done. You have a whole army that is grinding out these games with you. I promise you. And it's been really fun to be part of that kind of group that's watching you and kind of commenting on social media. It's been a blast. I guess there's no reason to look past anything but this Thursday, right? I mean, you've done a great job going just 1 game at a time. I mean, look, you can't afford to do anything other than that, right? So with the talent that we're playing,
we literally can't afford to. We have the GoFundMe going. We literally
Sure.
can't afford to do more than one game at a time.
Yeah,
So,
that's true.
uh,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
Bob, I do want to say thank you on behalf of We Are D3. You guys, the few of you guys that are carrying the water for us, and you guys are really spreading our message. We're doing our part, but you guys are really doing your part. Our sponsors, the GoFundMe, the media, the guys who have our back, are you guys are really the wind behind our sails, man. And we notice you guys, we appreciate you guys, and we're doing it for you guys as well. It's not just us.
We appreciate that. And we feel that too. Like we feel that it's kind of a partnership, and Mike's been great at that. Mike's been great at like giving shout outs to the supporters. So folks, continue to support these guys financially. You can buy a shirt with these guys on it. There's the GoFundMe.
You
Let's
won't
keep
get it for 2 weeks, but you can buy it.
let's just keep the money coming in, right? Folks, that is Jason Harris, who's the head coach at UMass Boston, and he's helping out Mr. Rainiac on this powerhouse team. You got Dimitrius Underwood, a 6'3" guard that played his D3 ball at UT Dallas, the Comets, and Sam Peak, who's a 6'6" wing, who we know as a stud from Wesleyan. So, guys, kudos to you. It's been a blast, and let's go get them Thursday, okay?
Yes, sir. Appreciate it.
Thanks, guys.